Welcome back, everyone, to I've Got Next for the finale of Fire Warrior. I'm
Yay!
joined as always by Smeef Erickson.
Hey,
And here we go, starting off strong in a pile of bodies and some screaming.
I'm gonna miss this game.
You know, and instantly ambushed by. Oh God, I hate him so much.
Was that one or two?
There's two of them.
Okay. Well, that was a bit aggressive.
Yep. This is, while probably the coolest section of the game, architecture-wise, the least fun to play through.
Yeah, you don't really get to appreciate much about it.
I'm not gonna lie. There's a bit of saltiness later on in this episode.
So, are they like all teleporting through like the Eye of Sauron or something?
Pretty much, yeah. Just they poured in from the warp and generally fuck shit up and then call it a day and go home.
I hear one of your buddies.
Action jumping.
Ooh.
Who is this Tau? How did he get here?
Well,
Clearly
he was okay. I think he was just a mule.
yeah, clearly the coolest Tau who ever lived, and we don't even know his name.
Well, at least now you get to say you've made it further.
Oh God.
Oh, that's one of the. Wait. Oh, okay. Never mind. That's the chaos still.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we got a better look at his face.
Yeah, and he almost wrecked my shit. And another one spawn. Oh no, he gets back up because they towards the end of the game they have a much higher chance of getting their kind of second life going.
Now, does
It
that
seems
go
like.
into the tabletop?
Not particularly. Although I like the idea of it.
Like you can roll to see if it revives for like minimum HP just to get in one more hit.
Yeah, I certainly have. Now, I think there are some units that basically get a final combat, but it's usually a melee in. But there may be. There are a lot of units and a lot of different armies in 40k, and I am by no means an expert.
I do like that last guy. I like that you were using the teehee method of fighting to get him.
Look, there are things you have to do to survive in this game, and one of them is hide like a little coward.
I know, it's just like teehee. Pew.
I have to protect my fragile bird bones. Also, this guy. There's all kinds of Tau in here before me.
You got to call your commanders. Any reason why there's other? I thought I was the only one in here.
I do like the way the book ends. Shazlakai, this still being his first like actual combat. They're fire warriors. They're the lowest rank and kind of class in the Tau society. So they have to go through the ritual of fire, which is, hey, you have to go into combat at least once before you can be promoted or, kind of raise your status at all. So this is his first time being in combat. And he is the son of a famous general, and he kind of feels like he's a disappointment to his dad. His dad kind of says as much at one point. Oh, the secret task was to jump a difficult platform. I don't know if you noticed that.
Well,
But
that's silly.
look, it's really hard to get on that platform. Only the most elitist of elite get there.
I have a feeling that because this is 40k, like you have literally you have gone through hell and death, and it's your first time in combat. And like the most you're gonna get is like just a little pat on the back and say, "Hey, good go, champ."
Well, and I do like the book for that. Columns made out of weird soul flesh. In the book, this kind of builds to just him having PTSD and slips into a coma until he can figure out how to balance his life and like rejoin society. They put him on life support in a stasis pod which then malfunctions, making time pass normally for him. So he doesn't like go to sleep and wake up when they arrive at their destination. So he's got like 100 years to do nothing but rest and recoup. And he decides to run battle simulations and put himself through training over and over to the point by the time he lands, he's like just has 100 years of experience.
Nice.
Interestingly enough, these guys didn't teleport in; they dropped in from the ceiling. And there's 8 billion of them, and I'm almost dead.
You are
God,
not dead.
I hate the raptors so much. Once you run out of plasma rifle ammo, the game gets significantly harder.
Mm-hmm. Spawning in.
Yeah, and this is kind of your boss rush of a level. They're going to put you in the worst situations to be in.
Yeah, there was like 4 or 5 flashes. Oh, okay, priest.
Yep. 2 of them. If you can knock them out quick, and then here comes the fucking army of raptors. Yep, almost dead again. Just instantly. And unfortunately, the railgun sucks at trying to hit these guys. As you can see, the auto target is having a bit of a field day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go hunt some health. Whew.
Wait, did you
There we
kill
go.
them?
Got it.
Oh, wow.
From downtown.
What is this red mist?
Yeah, what could it
Oh,
say?
okay. Ed 209.
It's our good buddy, the Hell Brute.
Is he one of the dreadnoughts?
Yep, you got it.
Okay.
I did go back and look up. They were eventually changed to Hell Brutes. These guys are worthless on the tabletop. I have one. It has successfully attacked 1 time for like no damage, and then they are always killed in 1 turn.
You wouldn't think that.
Yeah, meanwhile, the Space Marine variant has received like 3 updates and now has a cool model that also has like 15 guns on it and just one-shots my entire army. I'm not upset or salty about it at all.
What's that taste? Although you've always kind of enjoyed doing that, I've noticed. As long as I've known you, like anytime we've played any sort of tabletop sort of game, you actively like giving yourself a handicap.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to win sometimes. I think, God, I could probably count on one hand the games I've won. And now, immediately after that, the Obliterator.
And he's got a mini gun.
Yeah, and a plasma cannon. As
So,
you can tell.
do objects work as cover in this fairly well?
Yeah.
Like to where as long as the half of him that's holding the gun is behind a column, you can just pick at him.
Very much so. I will say that, unfortunately for the Obliterator, both his guns are on his hand, so if you can see him, generally he can see you. And his machine gun is, I believe, is a hit scan weapon. So as long as you're in front of it, it just is going to hit you.
Yeah.
Not enough to do any real damage, but enough to keep your shield from respawning.
Mm-hmm. Kind of neat that you went back you're back to using the bolter though.
Yeah. Only because I have not found a plasma rifle.
Yeah, I just kind of like at this point in the game, a sub gun like that would kind of be small potatoes. I do like it's very laborious for him to turn and walk to get to the other side of the column.
Yeah. Thank goodness. I don't know that I could handle a just a fast moving one of those. All right, so now we enter the crap part. Oh, hey, I accidentally pressed the night vision button. I'd forgotten about that. Yeah, look at that night vision working as intended.
in bright daylight. Ah!
My eyes. This particular room is very interesting because it's made to not spawn the enemies until you walk like 3/4 of it.
Oh,
If you wait, nothing happens. But so you have to walk around at least 2 corners in order to get them to spawn.
interesting.
Yeah.
So you could literally be walking, like not walking, like standing around, like wondering why you think you were soft locked.
And so now those wall buttholes there, which insta kill you, I should point out, if you go into them too early. Sometimes the animation plays that it's still going to kill you, but you actually still have to walk through it.
Oh, he
He's-
blowed up.
It did. He also said, "All hail the Dark Prince."
I thought I heard "oh hell no."
All hail no.
And we saw that tiny little bird man coming at him, and he just got scared. Is that what they essentially are? Like, I mean, if you were to
They're-
relate them to anything.
Yeah, so I think they started as birds, and then they evolved due to some being left alone for a little while.
Okay.
They evolved into basically, if you fast forwarded bird evolution to modern day, that's where they're at.
Okay. Ow.
Yep, yep, yep.
You
Well-
saw it coming. There was nothing you could do to get out of the way.
Yeah. So while we're in this, just not interesting part to me, because I certainly got tired of playing it. I thought to myself, we could go through and look at some of the dumbest names in Warhammer 40k ever.
Oh, this should be fun.
Right. I think we'll start off with what I think is the best one. I should say that this particular one no longer canon. So you have 40k Inquisitors. These are the James Bonds if they had more power.
Okay.
They're James Bond and Judge Dredd in one. They skulk around behind the scenes, execute who they need to execute. Oh, hey, that's what happens if you walk into a portal too early.
Oops.
So if the enemy doesn't spawn and you go, well, I guess I can just leave the room. No. But so secret agents, super cool guys. There is the best of all Inquisitors, named Inquisitor Obi-Wan Sherlock Clouseau. Yes, you heard correctly. Obi-Wan Sherlock Clouseau. And he is an inspector and detective.
You gotta admire
Inquisitor.
subtlety.
Yeah. He kind of looks like Hagrid.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Hagrid if he was wearing a black trench coat and hat. It's just ridiculous. So that I would say is my personal favorite. He is not in the lore anymore.
Like
in case you.
Yeah, the Sherlock I can let slide, but the Obi-Wan is a bit heavy-handed.
And then Clouseau.
Yeah.
So there is a group of Space Marines, the Chaos version, called the Iron Hands. They generally are like, hey, we like technology and we're evil. So they replace a lot of their body parts with robot parts.
Mm-hmm.
They also I don't know if this is canon anymore, and I don't play Iron Hands, but the ones that aren't replacing their body parts and are still human for them are still Adeptus Astartes for the most part. They wear gloves that transmit pain to their hands so that they can just feel alive.
Yeah.
So
Are any
they're
of them
called
gonna be Alex James Murphy?
RoboCop.
Yeah.
It's not far off. There are There are space cops in the 40k universe called the
Yeah.
Adeptus Arbites, and some of them are just Judge Dredd,
Okay.
like the Stallone era Dredd. God, dang it. So they have the full eagle, pauldron, everything,
Yeah.
and then some of them are kind of more RoboCopy. But so the Iron Hands, they're led by Ferrus Manus, which literally translates to Iron Hand. So the Iron Hands with Iron Hands who lead the Iron Hands. I would say they also it's just, oh god, they're so stupid.
But you know,
But-
when they were writing that, they would be like, "Man, that is clever."
Yeah, we'll call the leader of the Iron Hands Ferrus Manus. There is an evil character that I don't really know a whole lot about called Cruella the Vile, and it's just Cruella de Vil.
I'm gonna put the bad taste on there.
It's yeah, a little on the nose. So orcs are great. They're generally, as I've mentioned before, just kind of dumb soccer hooligans. And there is Gazkul, whose full name is Gazkul Magaruk Tharaka, and it's based off of Margaret Thatcher.
Oh, okay. Okay, I can get around on that one.
What you doing there, buddy? Oh, okay. There are Space Wolves in the game. They're one of the loyalist Space Marine factions, and they are Space Marines but Vikings.
Are they gonna be the Night and Day Wolves?
The Night and Day Wolves?
I'm trying to. Oh, I can't remember their names all of a sudden.
I'm intrigued now. I do like the
Gary and Freaky.
oh, like from actual Norse mythology. I
Yeah.
do believe there are some names that cross over, but they use a lot of wolf. Just basically like the way Smurfs use Smurf, the Space Wolves use wolf.
Yeah.
Like one of their guys' names is Canis Wolfborn. But it's like there's a funny bit of like a jokey dialogue. It says a dignitary lands at the Fenris Wolf starport and asks a wolf local for wolf directions. Oh, just follow this wolf road for 300 wolf meters, then turn left at the wolf tailor, take the second right after the wolf fishery, go another 150 wolf meters past the wolf pens, and a left at the wolf bank.
If you don't watch the wolf out, you're gonna get yourself wolfed.
Exactly. So Ogrins are, hey, look, we made it slightly farther
Nice.
to the Bonavator.
Yeah, I
guess,
was
I
noticing the skulls.
Is this it? Is this the point where Austin finally gets past this dreaded section of the game?
The signs are pointing to no by the way you said that. Oh, look at
Oh, no.
Yeah, man, and into a corner, that's not fair.
And two more spawn behind them. So if you try and fight them from the elevator, they just point blank you with them.
Give me health.
Just
I hate that they
big-
have plasma weapons.
Yeah, they're just nailing you.
Well, yeah, but they're supposed to be all about melee, aren't they?
Yeah. Hey, guess where you respawn?
Oh, fantastic. I could see your anger.
There's. Let's see. So there is the Black Planet of Birmingham. You know,
Like England?
Like the town in England.
They have really thick accents.
Quite a few, yes.
So Ozzy Osbourne is from Birmingham. So they all talk like, "Ooh."
That's what I like to think. Oh, my another really fantastic, famous name. So there's an Imperial Guardsman who lives and fights on what they call death worlds. They
Mm-hmm.
are like planets so deadly to human life that really you shouldn't go there. And these cool warriors straight out of the 90s fight there, the Imperial Guard. One of which is called Marbo. Marbo being an anagram of Rambo, and Sly as in Sly Stallone.
Mm-hmm.
He's still around in the lore and is routinely seen like standing over a Tyranid corpse or something like that he's killed. Oh my god, I hate this level so much.
Does he walk around with a knife?
Yes, he totally does.
Nice.
But they're Ogren, which are ogres in the 40k world. Big dumb idiots, and I mean they're lovable idiots, but they're big dummies. Sometimes one performs so well, or they want to make one into a squad leader, so he can lead a squad of Ogren, and he has to get a brain transplant, or like basically like, hey, we're gonna put some machinery in there and soup up your brain. The transplant itself is called the Boned upgrade.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, for like a actiony game when they kind of say nope, stop. Yeah, I can see where like we're playing this repeatedly. You just kind of you start to get fed up with a certain level, because like up until now they suddenly just crank up the difficulty, and so many games do that.
Yeah, and it's basically, to get through this, you have to stop, hide behind corners, and then when you get down to that place where you're ambushed, you kind of have to get a little lucky and have a weapon that's better than the, rail gun.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little peek.
Is it reaching?
Yes, it is.
Okay, go. Because I know even the sniper rifles had like a limited reach. And you're also low on health.
Oh
This should
yeah,
go well.
It really seems like the random damage kind of gets put up here, so you're also like taking more damage. Things seem to be getting in a lot more lucky shots
Lucky shites.
and lucky shots.
Yeah, so you're either taking a lot of damage or really a lot of damage.
Yeah, pretty much.
I do like that it's not been just one single aesthetic throughout the whole game though.
Yeah, I mean, I still think this is a cool level design, especially for 2002, 2003-ish, depending. There we go. Got some lucky shots here. Yeah.
But this also kind of seems like it's like they probably intended for the game to be a little bit longer, but they were running out of time, so they had to cram as much as they could into the last bit.
Yeah, and it's like they just wanted kind of, they wanted to like make it a challenge, but I don't know, man. Everything's so one-sided, which I guess it should be. You're a lone Tau warrior. That probably shouldn't be able to go toe-to-toe with these things, but
Yeah.
I feel like a compromise could have been made somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. This is supposed to be like going out in a blaze of glory or nothing kind of thing. But at the same time, it's just when you sort of set a pace throughout the entire game, and then like right at the last stitch is when you throw in all this shit. It just kind of, it can be a bit off-putting.
Yeah, and I will say, like, that was the toughest bit in the game.
Mhm.
After this, it's kind of a smooth ride to credits.
Okay.
So, in generally, I'm still very positive about this game. I would love to see it remade.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to see just anything about the Tau. They're a little more samurai. There's a beautiful model that just came out a little while back called Farsight. I think it's Commander Farsight.
Mm-hmm.
So think like Gundam Wing plus samurai. Um, and I don't play Tau at all, nor have I went up against them, but it's just really, really cool models.
Yeah.
Now
So-
I can't remember which way I came in.
Yeah. Is it a D6 based game? I know I've asked this before.
Yes, and a lot of D6 at that.
Okay, so kind of like Risk.
Yeah, but I would say even more D6s. Like there is if you play some of the more big, like swarm units,
Mhm.
it's like you can be rolling 30 dice.
So you just start scavenging games of Yahtzee.
Yeah, I mean, my pack of dice that I have for my Imperial or my Thousand Suns, like it's just they're cool, they're blue, they match my army.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a little bit of lore. The admiral who didn't like us. You've been rescued, sir.
Well, that is a weird limping animation. Like his head is freaky moving.
Have you come to save us or damn us?
Admiral. Was he the one that?
There are things I must.
So we only really saw him like once or
There is
twice.
little time.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back to that scene where you're with the Space Marine and then one of the admirals or one of the higher ranking officers lets chaos in.
So this was the other guy, the guy that
Okay.
was like, "Bah, I don't see why we have to work with the aliens."
I got you.
For all our sakes.
Yeah, so he's talking about like, hey, the Governor Severus, who's the bad guy that was torturing our ethereal dude, has put something in him and is trying to attract something big.
Oh, is it gonna be a face hugger?
No.
The chaos seed is changing
Oh
me.
my.
A xenomorph.
Before I transform, kill me.
So, what happens if you try and become possessed and become a demon prince, but you're not really worthy in the
my.
eyes of the chaos gods? You become this thing. It's just chaos spawn. They are random. There's no uniform to them at all. They are just blobs with teeth and claws. And hey, it's gonna spawn shit behind us,
Yeah.
as if the boss wasn't bad enough. They sometimes have ranged abilities. I'm not 100% sure, but theoretically I can field these guys. And they used to have it where you could run the risk of your dudes being turned into one, like trying to overpower certain units. And my Primarch of my army, if he kills you with his oh my god. If he kills you with his staff, there's a chance it would turn the enemy into one of those.
Oh.
Yeah, really, they're just interesting.
Oh, he's stuck on geometry. Yay.
Yes.
His head looks like Audrey too.
Like from Little Shop of Horrors?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's funny you should say that. One of the voice actors in this was a crew member on Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. I will say that there's also a person in this who was in Event Horizon, just to bring it all around.
If it's anybody outside of Sam Neill or Lawrence Fishburne, I'm not gonna know him.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I can remember their faces, but the names escape me.
Oh, don't you worry.
Boy, it seems like if the chaos gods don't like you, you get turned into a badass demon creature.
Yeah, but you also have like no free will. You just kind of like your mind is gone. You lash out at everything around you.
The same could be said for all religions.
Thanks, Dracula. There is a Dracula in. I say Dracula. There is a broody fucking Primarch who has claws and likes to hide in shadows, and his guys like to drink blood and skin people and things like that. And that person's name, Conrad Curse.
Nice.
Yeah, I love that dumb name so much.
What's the last name?
Curse, but Kurze.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the kind of guy when you meet him, you're like if he gets called out in role, Curse.
Curse.
Where's Conrad?
Hey, why did they have all these weapons piled up here?
Final
In
boss
this large circular room. Yeah. So in essence, what the guy's doing here is he has he has altars set up all around this central circular chamber, and he is dedicating, to every chaos god and is pulling energy from them in order to summon something big.
Ah. Seems like he's been working on that with the giant red beam.
Yeah, it's going pretty well for him.
With so far with all the names that we've gone through, I would not be surprised if he's trying to summon Gazer the Gozerian.
I'm trying to remember if there's a Ghostbusters reference. There has to be. I mean, there's only been a billion years of 40k lore.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, that new Ghostbusters is coming out. I am excited.
I would like to see it.
Yeah, because I loved Afterlife. Not to digress here, but yeah, Afterlife was great.
That was a really good send-off for Harold Ramis.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I ugly cried in that movie.
Mm-hmm. So, just going around planting bombs at each of the altars dedicated to the various gods.
And they're all color-coded.
Yeah, it's nice. And we get ambushed in every single room.
At least they're going down easy this time, though.
Yeah, I will say that they don't spawn in massive hordes. It's like manageable.
But bullets actually seem to be hitting them.
Well, I have the plasma rifle now. This is Daddy's go time gun.
A fairly adequate amount of bullets. Well, they're just like rail cannons, miniguns, they're just laying around.
Yeah.
It's like they all laid them down. I'm sure this one will come back for us.
So, now an obliterator.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, still can't turn very well.
Yeah, he's very. Oh, come on.
He's playing at tank controls. He's like Resident Evil 2. Come on, just turn Leon or Chris. Come on.
I still go back to this day and play the original RE games.
I missed most of RE, like the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
It's shameful. Oh, wait, here we go. So Governor Severus.
He even sounds like Snake.
Yes.
Is he? What's he throwing out of his hands?
Just chaos magic.
Oh, okay.
Human flesh is so susceptible to the change.
Changes.
Sadly, the Tau are resistant to chaos. You have no psychic power.
Why does he look like Doctor Strange?
I don't need your kind anymore.
Why does he look like Doctor Strange?
I want Ardius, the great ultra.
Or if we're gonna go with villains, maybe
When he
Ra's al Ghul.
arrived, I knew he was the
Oh, yeah,
ultimate
yeah.
chaos I needed.
Don't mind me, just picking up some weapons.
Flesh is useless to me.
Well, all hail the new flesh.
Boy, you gotta love it when a cutscene doesn't let you take an opportunity kill.
Do your worst.
I say,
You know,
You're a disgrace.
like you totally could have been just filling him with bullets the entire time he was monologuing.
yeah. I will say, he is just a man. So, you know, not a terrible boss fight. He has a plasma, or, you know, plasma rifle.
Mm-hmm.
But he also isn't really, he doesn't care.
No one will come to your aid. Come Tau. You prolong the inevitable.
Good monologuing here.
Tau with a hard R.
Yeah. Well, that's it. We killed the bad guy, I guess. No way giant evil demon's getting into reality now.
Oh, he looks like he's simmering.
That's all I wanted you to do.
I wanted you to shoot me.
No, my invisible shield protected me. Oh my god, I love these units.
Ooh.
So this is basically a greater demon of Tzeentch. They're birds. They're magical demons. Really, really cool on the tabletop. I love them.
Mm-hmm.
Just nice to get a beaked bird demon. Something interesting though, none of the weapons really work against him except for the minigun.
Yeah.
Generally, everything flies through him. The rail guns, the rocket launcher, everything misses. But I don't know if it's a quirk of game design, but the chain gun throws out enough mini pew-pew bullets that they kind of get around it and actually hit him.
Yeah. You know what this kind of reminds me of? Going sort of kind of going into D&D a bit. It kind of reminds me of the Arakroka.
Oh boy, I haven't seen one of those in forever. I'm gonna have to look them up now.
He looks more like a vulture, but they a lot of the art depictions of the Arakroka are like falcon-y or phoenixes sort of.
I gotcha.
But
And
they're
there
like,
we have it.
Oh, that's it.
That's it.
Well, that's almost
Two-stage
disappointing.
boss. Yeah.
Like
It's
considering
much less-
the onslaught that you had to deal with.
Case, your duty is fulfilled. Welcome home.
Thanks. In the books, Lucia dons a suit of like a jetpack robot armor with his buddies and is kicking ass to come get to you.
Nice.
So ends all that is tainted with chaos.
Oh, that chaos taint.
It has been cleansed. Here's a question. I know, like, 40K is like all about, each one of them sort of has a superior race complex. Can you have allied forces on the field?
Oh yeah, well, you certainly used to be able to. Imperial Guard, Adeptus Custodes, the Space Marines, all of those guys can usually fight together. At the very least, where like, if you're fielding Space Marines, you could, if you wanted, field a squad of Imperial Guard. The Sisters of Battle get to field Imperial Assassins and things like that, and Imperial Guard if they wanted to. So like, they usually do work together, but depending on the chapters and kind of rules that you're playing with, sometimes you lose a lot by not having an army from one whole place, but I don't think it's like that anymore.
Okay. So you couldn't place you couldn't throw it on the field. Oh, right now the tower getting along with the Space Marines, so they're going to work together.
Yeah, usually not that far away.
He has gotten great.
Yeah, he's a little hot topic.
Hey, what?
So Space Marine ships do have teleportariums,
Oh, okay.
but they're generally not super reliable.
So he's gonna come back like with his arm on the wrong side.
Well, they don't work all the time. But hey, you had mentioned that these ships are mostly guns with spaceships built around them. This is what an exterminatus looks like when they want to wipe a planet that is unsavable.
That seems expensive.
Yeah, I will say sometimes they're depicted as just having an entire gun along the ship's hull, and they fire world crackers.
I do like that is almost like a javelin missile. Sir, your hat thing looks stupid. So does yours.
Your hair thing looks stupid. Your ponytail is off center.
I meant to do that.
It's the newest fashion.
It's called Padawan.
JoJo Siwa's rocking it.
Oh, that is totally a Star Trek riff.
Yes, indeed it was.
Like, they're not even trying to hide it. Well, that was a good game.
Well, I don't know that it's a good game to play.
Yeah, I'm with you, though. I think it could definitely use a little more TLC.
Yes, definitely so. But at the end, I would say it's just nice to be able to play and kind of get through the story. I think more people should at least see it, and I would love to see it done with better controls.
Yeah. Like, I could, and not only controls, just sort of like mechanics to where you're not getting stuck on like a small pebble that you just happen to walk on.
Yeah.
The
but
testers did not do their job.
I will say that I will put it in the video, but kind of in... Yeah, here we go. Voice cast.
All right.
I'll go through some of those because they go by real quick.
Yeah.
But probably I'll start, I'll save the best or the most exciting for last. But we have Burt Kwok, as in Kato from the Pink Panther movies.
Oh, wow. That's an odd
Yes.
choice.
He was also in You Only Live Twice. He was Spectre 3.
Okay.
But Kato, probably the biggest thing we know him. You and I would know him as. Sean Pertwee as Governor Severus. He was in Event Horizon. He was Smith. He kind of looks like discount Sean Bean.
Was he the kid
I don't know.
that went out the airlock?
Possibly? Well, look at the pictures of the team.
Oh, look at that.
Another really famous actor, David Yip, who you might remember from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. He was Indy's buddy, the police officer who gets killed in the beginning.
Okay.
He's also in A View to Kill as Chuck Lee. He also gets killed in that, sadly.
Ah.
I'm just gonna let our audio record, and I'll push this
Okay.
on a black screen, because I would. But then we have. Let me just go to the next one here. Ivan K. Not Ivan K. Sorry, although he's in it as just the Imperials. But we have Brian Blessed as Constantine. Now, off the bat, you might not know who Brian.
I know his name.
Yes, he was Prince Voltan in Flash Gordon.
Okay.
The winged guy.
Yeah.
He was in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. He was Boss Nass.
Okay.
And he has been in... He basically has come back as Boss Nass in everything.
Yeah.
He also does a lot of video game stuff and a lot of 40K stuff. So, now to the names that I think would be the biggest surprises for you. Pete Serafinowicz.
I know the name.
Shaun of the Dead, his roommate.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Denarian Saul from Guardians of the Galaxy, the guy that goes, "What a bunch of assholes," and possibly apocryphal, but I don't know for true. But the voice of Darth Maul
Oh, okay.
in what do you call it? The voice in Episode 1.
Okay,
Just when he has to talk. He has a fantastic comedy show that I recommend for everybody, the Pete Serafinowicz Show.
I may have seen clips of it. But yeah,
good
he's
stuff.
very like he was so in Shaun. He was underutilized in Shaun of the Dead. If you ever want to see a movie with him in it that he does really well in, it's another. It is another Simon Pegg movie called Run Fat Boy Run. I highly recommend that movie.
I would say two things I love him in: Spaced, which is the Simon Pegg, Nick
Excellent
Frost,
show.
and
Yep.
Edgar Wright TV show. He's also in Black Books, which is a great show. I think the creator turned out to be a turd, but other than that, really, really funny show. Yeah, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, as Darth Maul.
Nice.
Specifically the voice.
Mm-hmm.
And then last but not least, Tom Baker, Doctor
Okay.
Who himself. He was played the fourth Doctor for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And God, he's the one with the scarf, and
Yeah.
I don't know that it's a
He's
fedora.
the one. He's the one that, aside from David Tennant, he's probably the second most recognizable one. Well, I mean, of course you got the newer ones, but like as far as like the Doctor Who from like the 70s, I think it was.
So this was 1974 to 1981.
Yeah.
173 episodes. Jesus.
Mm-hmm. They went. The Doctors lasted longer back then.
The thing that I remember him most for, or I say the most, because I was not a Doctor Who person. We didn't really have that growing up. But The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, which was the Harryhausen Sinbad adventure.
Mm-hmm.
He was in that. That show, or that movie, still like it. He was also in Nicholas and Alexandria. He played Rasputin.
Oh, okay.
I had a weird section of my life where I was obsessed with Tsar Nicholas II and the fall of the Tsardom. But yeah, so there you go. That pretty much wraps up Fire Warrior. Any final thoughts there?
No, it was a fun ride. And you can definitely see that there was some love put into it, but they were probably just limited with whatever roadblocks they run into at the time.
Yeah, I there's a reason I picked this for my first one. I think it's a very solid game that gets let down a little by kind of the era in which it's made, but just really, really interesting from a lore standpoint, just because generally stories from the not humans is not something that comes up very often.
Mm-hmm.
So I dig it. I've played it quite a few times now, and I'm kind of sad that the multiplayer isn't up.
Yeah.
I certainly would have probably tried a couple of those, but yeah, it kind of holds a special place for me. But with that, I think we've come to the end of this game, and we'll see you next time on I've Got Next.
See you around.